Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the basic explanation for verses 63 to 66. The brothers have now returned back to Canaan to their father Yaqub alayhi salam, bringing back the food that they had acquired from Yusuf alayhi salam. When they came back, they began explaining to Yaqub alayhi salam what has transpired, the important things that have transpired. And the thing that's on their mind the most is that they had the possibility of getting one more camel load of food, which they desperately needed, but it was withheld from them. So they said, Ya abana muni'a minna al-kayl. And this verse also lends strength to the view that Yusuf alayhi salam did not in fact give them the share of Binyamin. A certain measure of grain has been withheld from us. So now the next time we go, send our brother with us, this half brother of ours. Send him with us so that we can get the full measure of food for our families. And this is followed up with a promise that we will look after him, we will protect him. وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. In the next verse, Yaqub alayhi salam asks a question which is very predictable that he was going to ask this. He said, shall I trust you with him like I trusted you with his brother Yusuf before this? You made a similar request many years ago that I send Yusuf with you and that you are going to protect him. And here you are making the same request, saying you are going to protect Binyamin. Then he said, no, Allah is the best protector. فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا. Allah is a much better protector than you, and He is the most merciful of all those who show mercy. So here Yaqub alayhi salam is giving them this message that even if you were sincere protectors of my sons, you could not have done it by yourself. Protection ultimately lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He is not just a protector, He is the most merciful. Even if you were to be a sincere protector, you would not have the mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. So that's the protection that I'm relying on. Now, they go back and start unpacking their luggage, and they say, Ya abana ma nabghi. Now, ma nabghi has been translated in your text as what else could we want? And this is one translation of it. An alternate translation of this could be, instead of a question, rather a statement. And nabghi here could mean that we are not rebelling, or we are not saying this out of some agenda to hurt him. Ma nabghi. In that case, ma would be to negate, that we are not transgressing. We are not acting rebelliously. We are not out to cause any harm. What has happened with us? Look, all our merchandise has been returned. Whatever we took to acquire the food has been returned to us. هَذِهِ بِضَاعَتُنَا رُدَّتْ إِلَيْنَا. So now we are in a position to go back, get more supplies. وَنَمِيرُ أَهْلَنَا. We can bring back food and supplies for our families. وَنَحْفَظُ أَخَانَا. We've already committed to you that we will look after Binyamin. وَنَزْدَادُ كَيْلَ بَعِيرٍ. We will get one more camel load of food. ذَلِكَ كَيْلٌ يَسِيرٌ. This is very easy. It's a very easy measure to gain. It was easy because all they had to do was take Binyamin. But it was even easier now because the money or the goods they had taken to acquire the food had all been returned. So they had gone with enough merchandise to buy food for 12 families. They have come back with the food and all their money. And now they will go back, even if their food is is given to them in exchange for the merchandise that they have brought, basically they are going to get now another 12 shares of food, totaling 23. They got 11 the first time. Now they'll go back and get 12 more. So 23 shares of food for the price of only 11. So that's quite amazing. That's quite a deal, as we would say. So all of this is now to express their enthusiasm in going back and an effort to motivate Yaqub alayhi salam to let them. Yaqub alayhi salam says, I am not going to send him with you until you gave me hatta tu'tuni mawthiqan min Allah, until you give me a pledge, a covenant, a solemn promise that you will absolutely bring him back, unless such a thing happens that is completely out of your control. And what is out of your control? You are overpowered. إِلَّا أَن يُحَاطَ بِكُمْ. You are overpowered. You have been stopped by some external force, some external power that you have absolutely no control in front of. That, Yaqub alayhi salam says, I would not hold you responsible for that because it is not in your control. But everything that is in your power, you must do to bring Binyamin back. So the brothers did in fact give that pledge and that commitment. And then Yaqub alayhi salam said, Allahu ala ma naqulu wakil. Allah is the trustee. I entrust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this whole discussion and this promise of yours. Allah is a witness to it. He attests to it. And I entrust this entire matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the gist of these verses.